I cannot see you. You're gone.
Now I'm here.
Now you're here.
I cannot see you.
God. And we got to go through this over and over and over again. God. Isn't it great to have the sterling technology at our fingertips? You know, Denver Broncos Mile High View, no commercials, never any bullshit. Like to introduce you to Terrorist here. I still can't believe that. You do know that. Yeah, you do know that. Oh, here we go. Hold on a second. I'm sorry, folks. It just never friggin' ends. One thing after another. Okay. Oh, am I back? Or did I ever go away?
You're good.
Yeah, well, somebody like me and you can complain, but it would be very difficult for us to get somebody labeled a terrorist and taken off of YouTube. So I would think that the powers that shouldn't be are given access to levers they shouldn't have. And I would say that probably if I was to do a paper trail, a digital paper trail, I'm assuming with, I would say it would be an assumption with great weight of evidence that would lead back to Dove Valley. Because they don't, I'm assuming Dove Valley is a toxic place. Lots of finger pointing and excuse making, and we heard, Elway coming out and distancing himself from the head coach hire, even though we're the only ones that bring up the search committee, which seems to really be irritating some certain individual at Dove Valley, that we are the only ones that bring up the search committee over and over and over again about the hiring of the head coach, Nathaniel Hackett. And that it seems like and we also brought the links up of the draft, the insiders at the draft saying Elway was running things behind the scenes there, and it just never stops. I would think, am I wrong to say the Broncos right now are 3-10? The 3-10 Broncos with a quarterback albatross contract, all this. I would think that Rob Walton, being a sound businessman, would say, man, I inherited a front office with 8 years of this. Just 1 year getting worse. Every year getting worse. And I'm actually at the point where I think that the Broncos overall probably aren't all that far removed from a lot of other crappy teams out there. The Chiefs, and it just seems like every game the Broncos in, the team just is trying to do everything they can to hand the game over to the Broncos, and the Broncos, do everything to do the same for the other team. I mean, it just seems like it's a lot of slop going on. I mean, last week seemed pretty sloppy. The week before, it just seems like something's off with the NFL. Something is off. You got a take.
Well, to piggyback off of what you said, we were talking about, me and this guy were watching the game. I was able to watch it, and we were talking back and forth. I mean, dude, I just can't even talk about the NFL anymore. I mean, it has gotten so horrifically bad that it's one thing, okay? It's one thing if you let people have a voice on here, but it's another thing when you're labeling the guy who is labeled as the most hated Bronco fan on the face of the planet and is called a terrorist and puts out misinformation and get his channel taken down for the third time, ladies and gentlemen. Shadow ban scouting is no more on them tube because they ban it because some idiots out there in Dove Valley can't handle the fucking truth, and they would rather label him, me as a terrorist and puts out misinformation. So I'm done with them tube. It's a BitChute full time now. I gave them tube one more chance. 3 times is the lucky star here. I'm done with it. But going back to the game, I can't trust any team. It doesn't matter. I mean, these teams are so stupid that they can't understand what simplistic football is. I mean, dude, you have the Chiefs who go up 27-0, and then they just go, well, let's it's our bye week, basically what they're thinking.
Yes, it seems like every team that the Denver Broncos have played the last 5, 6, 7 weeks is, to them, it's a bye week. It's time to start experimenting. The Ravens. We got a guy that hasn't taken a snap, so let's get pass happy. Does that formula sound like an organization that has any respect for your number one defense that was on pace to have 600 yards thrown on it and ran on it and 54 points scored on it until another guy who gets a pass, Patrick Mahomes, for coughing the ball up. And you know what? They talk about Russell Wilson hanging on to the ball too long. I mean, doesn't the other guy hang on to the ball too long too?
And who said that in his film review? Oh, the guy who they label as a terrorist.
The guy that got banned.
The guy who got banned for the 3rd time and is labeled a terrorist. It blows my mind. You absolutely hit the nail on the head. I mean, dude, like I've said time and time again, losing cultures and losing organizations find ways to lose, and that's what the Denver Broncos are. I don't want to hear anything about Justin Simmons because, dude, that dude sucks. That guy.
We could do a low light, on that guy through this whole game about how he 2 scores, I believe, was 2 scores were on him, if I'm not mistaken. 2 scores.
Yeah,
were
dude,
on him in general. They showed the end zone cam.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, and he's frozen. The guy it's just good old Justin Simmons. How can you put this guy's banner up? Put a banner. Well, he's good at the podium. I had a comment, but you don't understand family and friends, and it's like we're talking about the game. We're not talking about Justin Simmons' social life or his time on the microphone. In the interviews. No, we're talking about what's on the field. Well, we had the Broncos running their mouth. We had the Broncos running their mouth since off season about how they're going to dethrone the Chiefs. The Chiefs pretty much kept their mouth shut, but did the talking on the field. Although I do have one thing I'll say, you can't really go and jaw, although you do have the right. Go over on the bench of the Broncos and really at the end of the game and really give it to him, jaw on him. You do, but you guys almost gave the game to him. So I wouldn't necessarily be going and flapping your jaws back and forth. But go ahead.
Oh no, I completely agree with you. When did this game? When did football become friends and family and all that shit? I mean, dude, what has
that's the new culture. It's about touchy, feely.
Yeah, it's make me feel good in the moment. I mean, dude, it just doesn't work. I mean, it doesn't work, dude. I'm really I before we came on here, before we started this live video, I said, do we really have to talk about the Broncos again, dude? Because it's the same story every fucking week. It's offensive line breakdowns, Russell Wilson holding on to the ball too long, receivers that can't block to save their life, but you see the Chiefs tight ends and receivers blocking better than the Denver Broncos have. You have Jerry Jeudy, the first 3 touchdown game. By a mile, you have Jerry Jeudy with off coverage on him that had 3 touchdowns. Granted, had a very good day today, but he's the first 3 touchdown receiver since 2014. What does that tell you?
14. We're not even talking about the Super Bowl year.
The most overrated.
With Peyton Manning.
This is the most overrated. Dude, I am getting sick and tired of people labeling this defense as a top 5 defense because they put 27 points on this defense in a quarter and a half, 2 quarters, roughly 2.5 quarters. And what got them back into the game? Patrick Mahomes being stupid, Travis Kelce dropping touchdowns, the refs helping out the fucking Broncos. I mean, that should have been a PI in the end zone. Just letting you know that if you're going to throw that on the Chiefs late in the game, you should throw it late on. You should have thrown that on the on the Broncos. So
the fumble that wasn't but was.
Yeah.
Fumble that wasn't but was. They recovered it.
Yeah, exactly. It's come to the point where even when teams are letting the Broncos in these games, they still win the game. And what does that tell you? And I don't want to hear about Nathaniel Hackett.
Anybody should. It's clear as a bell, crystal clear, neon lights flashing, losing culture.
Yeah, and where does that come from? What does that come from? Not the head coach. What does that come from?
It comes from the front office now.
And you know what? I'm getting sick and tired.
Beyond Peyton.
Exactly. Well, yes, I'm getting sick and tired of this front office getting a pass for 8 years now. I'm gonna give you a little insight on what's really going on here. The reason I say this is the worst ran organization in the league is because, number one, I had a commenter before I got banned saying that shelling money out to Juwan James, Ron Leary, Menelik Watson, Donald Stevenson isn't a big risk. What the fuck are you smoking, dude?
Well, what is all that led to? It led to a $250 million. That's a culture.
8 years of losing. 8 years.
Yeah, 8 years of paying players. That's not even. Yeah. That's the excuse. That's the exact excuse making that goes on up at that front office.
Exactly, and you know what?
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. You know what? This happens with but the reason why I think the Chiefs, and I even thought the Broncos were going to win this game because I thought the Chiefs were going to give. I know.
Yeah. You really thought the Broncos were going to win.
I thought the Chiefs.
I still can't believe that one, but yeah, he did. He thought the Broncos were going to win. I kept telling him. You think they are, yeah.
Dude, I thought the Chiefs would. Dude, they almost gave this game away for all the crap.
How many of the other teams almost gave?
I know, and what does that tell you about the NFL?
The NFL, yeah.
This is why I'm in the college and high school now, because I'm watching an Army-Navy game. Oh, that's a close game too. Dude, that was more entertaining than watching the Broncos and Chiefs game. Watching the Broncos for 13 weeks, screw the pooch. Watching the Broncos for 8 years, screw the pooch. Empty promises, nothing that shows for it. You have a team on the field in the Denver Broncos, which has been lacking in identity on both sides of the ball, lacking an identity in that organization. I mean, dude, when you sit there and you ask yourself, man, we pay Justin Simmons all this guaranteed money. I mean, dude.
I can keep going down the list, but yeah, I got your point.
And what did the Chiefs do in this game? They attacked his side of the field.
They attacked him.
Again.
Yeah.
They're going to do it. They're going to do it here in the next couple weeks here when we play them.
Anybody who thinks we're out of our mind, please look at that end zone cam. That's all you need to know. And we've seen this. How many seasons have we seen that for? Oh, with the sports writers. He's got a banner. Okay, he's got a banner.
I don't see the Chiefs with their sports writers piping up this team to oblivion like the Denver Broncos were this offseason.
You did mention something. Now, the Chiefs have this knack of fucking things up. You know,
exactly.
Sandy Clef was talking about. I'm sure other Chief fans have talked about it. But they, like the Broncos, they have a way to rebound from their screw-ups, unlike the Broncos. And that's what separates, great player personnel and coaching and the rest of it from, what we get, this mess we got at Dove Valley. I mean, and you were saying to me, remember it was 27-0, and I thought what was shocking to me I told you, I said, this, do you realize this is 27-0? And I don't even think the Kansas City Chiefs are even playing all that well.
Yeah.
And you said, this is the key. This is the key. You said that I think the whole thing that it says it all. You said it really is sad to see how far this organization has been taken down. It's really sad to see how far this organization has been taken down.
Because you know why I said that is because I grew up with the last remnants of Pat Bowlen. I grew up with I grew up watching Pat Bowlen, man. And people disrespect Pat Bowlen like, oh no, it wasn't.
Well, he didn't do anything. It was all John Elway. He didn't do anything.
Yeah. Don't give credit to Pat Bowlen for actually bringing in Peyton Manning. Don't give credit to Adam Peters that was actually building the depth of this team I'm tired of the excuses. I could come on here all pissed off, but I'm not pissed off at this point anymore because I'm a pioneer in this business, and you people are going to have to accept the fact that your terrorist guy here from VenTube is not going to be on VenTube anymore. And that's perfectly fine with me because I can't deal with the mentally retarded idiots out there. I can't. I can't.
Well, you also have a bunch of crybabies up at the front office that I
don't
think
like my work, that fear my work, and don't want me putting out.
Well, we're the only ones holding them accountable. Everybody's like this. Oh, the coach. Fire the coach.
Yeah,
fire the coach. No. It couldn't be anything else.
There was a report that came out, and I read it to you about Sean Payton's preferred destinations in 2023. Were the Denver Broncos on that list?
I would guess no.
Okay, because I think if I get in contact with Scott Frost over Twitter, I guarantee you he would take the job in Denver.
Screw the offensive lines, Shermer ball. But why? Hold on. The big question: why? Why will Sean Payton not take the job in Denver? Why?
Because of Elway.
Because is that trust? Is that still going on up there? I'm not sure. Here's the thing.
Yes.
I wonder when it could be, but I wonder when Elway comes out with that weird conference weird public appearance he made with that reporter saying, I was thinking of somebody else, not Hackett, and you're like, but the search committee. Aaron Rodgers, you were leading it. You were spearheading it. Mark Schlereth and the other guy, ESPN, Adam Schefter. Guess who's signing on the dotted line right now? Guess who's signing on the dotted line right now? Bullshit. And that's why you're cut off, because you said right off the bat that was bullshit. You said no. Schefter and the other guy, Mark Schlereth, is full of shit, and it's not happening. This is bullshit, and you've been a target ever since.
Yeah, I've been a target ever since, and you know what? I'm happy that I'm targeted because it will give the other people the platform to see what's happened to a guy like myself, and that's this man right here, dude. You know what? At the end of the day, here's the reality of the situation, and I'm getting really sick and tired of the excuse making for this team. Like a new coach is going to come in here and save the day. We heard the same thing about Hackett, Fangio, and Vance Joseph, and they were all controlled from the top down. I don't want to hear any more excuses about this team. This team is not a quarterback away. Although I don't think that it's just the Denver Broncos, but I think the Denver Broncos are the worst ran organization in the league because
they're leading the charge in worst. That's for sure.
They are inept at everything, dude. I mean, they put a graphic up, and even Sandy Clough. Thank God, Sandy Clough is getting attacked by these mental midget morons too in Death Valley because he doesn't work full time anymore. And he was saying about Randy Gregory, about Billy Turner, about all these players who brought him in? Elway brought him in because those are Elway players.
Yeah, and that guy was like, no, don't look at that. Don't pay attention. It's all good. Yeah. That's the front office. That's the front office speaking right to you. All excuses.
Isn't it?
If you're Rob Walton, you got to start making a tough business decision. You were given a turd. It landed right in your lap. And I always said I've had my own business, multiple businesses actually, and I always said one bad manager is worth the weight of 10 bad employees. Go ahead.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean,
and somebody up there better get a clue, because
you really think
banning you isn't going to get anything resolved.
Dude, are you kidding me? We haven't even seen the NFL being resolved right now. I mean, it's a clusterfuck. So you think that Rob Walton, the businessman who doesn't know what he's doing, he doesn't know what he's doing, dude.
Well, that's what he said. He said he didn't know.
Wow, that's the guy that's leading our organization. Man, I feel so confident in that shit. You know what? It's come to the point where I just don't care anymore. And you know what? And you're absolutely right. What I said when it was 27-0, dude, like, the people don't understand. When Pat Bowlen was the owner, like, dude, I was so happy to see what the trajectory of this team. But you're sitting here as a Bronco fan proclaiming to me that you've been a Bronco fan your whole life, correct? And you sit there with this fucking cheerlead mindset, and you don't have a fucking critical bone in your body, dude. And you know what? And at the end of the day, that people just don't have the same level of mindset that you and I do. They don't have that extra bone in your body that has the grapes to hold this organization accountable. And I knew going in I was going to get banned eventually. Are you kidding me? They do not want me on this platform, because I will expose them. And one of my videos did when it said Denver Broncos coaches and players go to die. And that got so many fucking views, and they hated that. And they
Everybody, this is the thing. The people at Dove Valley can put their head in a bubble, think that, life outside of that bubble doesn't exist, but everybody outside the bubble knows what's going on at Dove Valley. They know the joke that's going on. They've seen this weird trust thing. They know about tap, tap, tap on the shoulder and overpaying. And what really put it on the map was that $250 million albatross contract. That's the creme de la creme of what we've been talking about. And you get the excuses from the front office. It's like, can you imagine as an employee that you couldn't get rid of it and they just keep making excuses? But this is management. I mean, to come a time.
Well, yeah, I just don't understand why people can't, they just want to go through coaches like it's a fucking Ferris wheel, like a hamster on a Ferris wheel, but they can't hold the one constant in this whole thing, the front office. You know what? At the end of the day, George Payton is to blame as well. Okay, let's not, he signed up on the
empty suit. Yeah, the empty suit.
Well,
yeah.
He signed on the dotted line, and he got duped into coming here just like Fangio. So if we're going to hold Fangio accountable, we have to. Well, Hackett, you really think Hackett? I mean, come on, dude.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. This is an empty man from the very. Yeah. Why do you think?
I can't, dude.
Why do you think Hackett had to relinquish all this so-called power? Why? It's again just shuffling chairs on the deck chairs is all it is. There's somebody. I remember what he said. He snuck out. He put out there. The call from above didn't come. Remember he said that they're asking him something about a decision that for whatever it was, and he said, "Well, I didn't get that call." And then everybody in the turd polishers had to say, "Well, who's he getting a call from?" I don't know.
Man, that's so hard to figure.
That's hard. Maybe there's a guy with a big office.
Let me ask you. Yeah. When Russell Wilson goes in and says, "What's up, boss?" Let me just say this. Exactly. Let me ask you this question. And how many times have we said this? Watch and repeat. Dude, sit there and ask yourself. Is this the same organization that it was 8, 9, 10 years ago? If you can't answer that question, then you are such a brainwashed individual, dude. Because I can't sit here anymore and explain to you people that it's not the coaching, it's not the, well, I mean, when you have Justin Simmons on the field, I mean, holy shit. But dude, who got these players? Who signed these players? Who drafted these players? Who brought in the coaches?
Tap, tap, tap on the shoulder.
Brought in the
tap, tap, tap on the shoulder. Tap, tap, tap.
Dallas. And you know what? Don't give me this shit that it's called conspiracy theory, because when you have Dallas radio people who know Dan Quinn very well because he coaches there.
Well,
hold on.
It wasn't the radio person. I'm going to make a clarification. It was Dan Quinn's actual associate and friend.
Okay, yes, you clarified, but in terms of where he was at that moment in time, he was on the radio. So let's combine that together. You have a guy who was an associate on the radio live that said, and I quote, George Payton wanted to hire Dan Quinn. Exactly. And who tapped Payton on the shoulder? Elway. I mean, dude.
Yeah. What's up, boss? What's up, boss? What's up, boss? Are you sure this is what you want to do? Are you absolutely positively sure this is what you want to do? Does that sound like a guy that wants to go? What did Von Miller say? About
the GMs? The GMs?
Well, he said the GMs, meaning Elway and Payton. But what I'm saying is, as a player, when they're going to ship you off, all of a sudden they just call you in the office, right? Are you sure this is what? Does that sound like a guy pounding the door to get to the Denver Broncos? Just anybody out there? Does that sound like a guy? The press conference, if you remember the press conference, because we remember these things. We actually have memory, unlike the turd polishers.
Yeah. When they say they never said that.
They never. We never said Russell Wilson. We never said we wanted that contract. We never said. It's the we never said sports talk radio.
Yeah, you never said that you wanted Nathaniel Hackett because he was going to bring energy to the team. You lying motherfuckers.
That energy. How can you not deny that energy? I mean, Fangio is old and used up, and I mean now like all this young talent, and the players can coach themselves. Remember that? You have to listen to coaches.
Okay, James Merrill.
Oh, and you froze. You froze.
Let me ask you this question.
Go back to what you said because you froze.
Okay, well, why do you people listen to these people that lie to you on a consistent basis? But I understand why, because you want to have a feel-good moment. But let me ask this man.
You froze for a moment.
Oh, okay. Well, it doesn't matter. Mr. Freeze is making an appearance.
So what about
Mr. Freeze? He's an idiot, and I don't know why people pay attention to him at all. He's an idiot. Let me ask you this simple question.
Story all the time.
Yeah, I don't understand why people take him seriously, but let me ask you this question. I don't even enjoy watching the NFL as a whole anymore. And let me ask you this. Do you enjoy watching the NFL anymore?
Well, I hardly even have time to watch these Bronco games.
Well, when you do have the...
And you froze. No.
You watch the Broncos.
Yeah, I don't. Yes, I guess to put it, if I had the time, I'm not going to spend time watching games.
Yeah.
If I had the time, I wouldn't spend it watching these games. No. No. Remember what I said about this goes into this thought. What you're talking about, what you're getting at. Remember when I said building dynasties? Teams. You said, you got all the best players you could. It was putting together really a good core of 53, and then you put a quarterback in there, and he's just another. Whether he's a great quarterback or not, he's just another guy on the team that complements the whole thing. That mindset is completely gone. They went into this princess quarterback, and to me, that's just not a very good model. It's great for marketing. Oh, you're hoping that these guys, and here's the thing I've talked about back with Jay Cutler. I felt that overall that Plummer was probably a better quarterback than Cutler overall. And it started like with the Cutler thing, like, oh, he's anointed. We anointed him and called him They just call people franchise. I mean, it used to be you had to earn that. That was an earned title. They just didn't like even you could have been the best player in college. You didn't get the franchise tag until you actually earned it. Now it's just thrown around, thrown around like a cheap, what. So passed around. So I think that's where the product really goes down the tubes is just that mindset of building dynasties. Now, I think Buffalo is kind of in the dynasty building. Chiefs to a degree, the Philadelphia Eagles, this kind of thing. They kind of still have that. When you really look at it, it's not about. I mean, Philadelphia isn't about a princess quarterback, is it? Who's their quarterback? Most people don't even know. Yeah, most people probably don't even know. He's not not a name. He's not a name.
You're absolutely right, and I just want to go back. I'm going off topic. I'm frustrated because I see the same shit every fucking week. But let's get back to the game. Okay, the Chiefs go up 27-0, and then you know what? When you talk about princess quarterbacks, I think Patrick Mahomes exemplifies the princess quarterback. I think that Patrick Mahomes getting paid $500 million is nonsense. Nonsense.
He's
from
Cinderella, or he's Cinderfella. Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting all the money. Yep. Sucking it from the team.
Yep. And at the end of the day, you saw what the Chiefs did when they got lazy, when they felt bad, when they wanted to give the game back to the Denver Broncos. You saw what happened. And you know what? For all the shit that I say about the Denver Broncos, there were a few things that I liked today. I mean, I did like the one touchdown that they had, like you were talking about.
Playing, you wonder where were these plays all season long?
Yeah, exactly. Who else? I thought Jerry Jeudy had a good game for what the circumstances presented. He wasn't dropping footballs left and right, so I got to give him credit on that. Josie Jewell, I mean, at least he caught I mean, you know what? For all the shit that I give Josie Jewell, there's one thing that I do respect about Josie Jewell, and that guy leaves it all out on the field. I mean, even though he's not as gifted as all these other athletic linebackers, he does leave it all out on the field. And
let me explain something. And I love that quality about him too. And that's kind of what we call Bronco quality, that we all like. But at the end of the day, if this was college or high school, man, he's like, that's the guy you want to really rap about.
Yeah.
But you get to the pro level, you got to go with that step up,
Yeah. Yep.
And so I appreciate Josie Jewell. I appreciate what you're saying, and even Singleton to a certain degree too. To a certain degree, And I will say this for the Broncos in their behalf too, is that they were fighting and scratching and crawling, and that, as them representing themselves, that's admirable. That's admirable. But we get back to, we're not here in the good guy club,
This is a GM-centric channel that bases a lot of our opinions on what we see on film and what we believe is the best thing for the Denver Broncos. And you know what? Yes, what you said hit the nail on the head, but I remember the Denver Broncos, that was the last thing on our mind. The first thing
that was a natural. That was just a given.
Yeah. Now we just have to. We have to be very careful on who we give those accolades to. And when we grew up, and when you grew up, especially when I started getting into football in the early to mid 2000s. I mean, that was dude, fucking fucking Champ Bailey was a given. I mean, fucking TJ Moore,
Louis Wright.
I mean,
Moses, Randy McCaffrey,
Randy
Floyd Little,
Al Wilson. I mean, dude, it was
Rich
Ryan
Jackson, Lyle Alzado, Tommy Jackson, Brandon Gradishar,
Tom Nalen. I mean, dude, we're not into those type of players anymore. We're into into the Justin Simmons of the world. And I mean, dude, I know it just I want to talk about Justin.
But he's a good, friendly guy.
I don't care about the good, friendly guy. I don't give a shit.
I know.
I don't care about the good, friendly guy. I want a guy like Brian Dawkins, Louis Wright, Steve Atwater, fucking Neil Smith. Dude, I want a fucking guy who can shove it, TJ Ward, that is scrappy, that doesn't give a fuck, that leaves it all on the field and talks shit.
Well, what about Browning? How did that experiment go?
Oh, yeah. You know what? To all you people out there that said that I was wrong about this Baron Browning experiment, look at you now, you idiots. You guys,
no, they think it hasn't yielded anything. They think that's success. They think nothing is success.
What has he done?
Nothing. Nothing.
What has Nick Burrito done?
Well, he the only time you saw Nick Burrito make his appearance, he got penalized. He got penalized. That's how you knew he was on the field. He got penalized.
Draymond Jones. I mean, his one good 2 per game play that he's good at. His 2 games that he's fucking. Oh my God, he looks so good. 2 plays a quarter. I mean, I don't want that shit.
Had one good play. He had one good play.
Yeah, where he tackled the running back in the backfield and actually made a good tackle. And I even said he made a good tackle. But he made one play. What did I say? Justin? I said there's his one good play a game.
There's one good play. Yeah. We got a quarterback with 1 read and a safety with 1 good play. That's what we have become as the Denver Broncos.
We don't even have an offensive line to save our life either. And this organization needs to just blow it up. But they can't, because who tied themselves to this fucking thing, Elway? And it pisses me off.
Well, this is what somebody asked that question. Well, what do we do? You asked it to somebody else. What do we do? This is what you do. This is what you do. This is what you do. You blow up the front office, number one. That's the first thing you got to do. Blow that, get all that trust, everything that's, hold on. Let me go through the whole thing. Everything that's associated with the trust.
Scouting.
All those turds, scouting, the whole thing, purge it, get it out of there, get the stink out. All of it, the stench. Just get it all out from everything from the trust.
And lock out of there.
Second thing you got to do is hire a GM that has a vision about what a culture is going to be, what an identity is going to be. I don't care if Wilson's still there or not. It doesn't matter to me. You got to get this done. Whether Wilson fits into it or not, it doesn't even matter. You let bad management have you sign a check for $250 million. You can't just be in the hope business. Hope. You need to find a GM is cut off from that quarterback, and you just go one-on-one and let's hear what's the identity. And then what he does, he gets surrounded by scouts with that identity. He goes find a head coach that they're on the same page of music. Then they start looking at their roster, what they got, and then they start making adjustments. If they got to cut, if they got to cut the cheese, they got to cut the cheese.
Cut Simmons, cut his ass.
Simmons, I mean, have the whole new people evaluate everybody. No Elway saving any player, and then just go from there. And it's going to be a long haul. I'm just telling you, it's going to be a long haul. But you got to start. You got to start now. Yeah,
you guys had your chance again for the 8th year in a row. You guys hoped us on and tried to sell us on this turd, and it just blew up right in your face. So it's done. No more excuses for this team. Sean Payton isn't coming here. There's going to be no coach worth their salt that's going to come here. And let me just ask you this question, and I completely agree with everything you said. And Rob Walton, if you just skip through all the fucking bullshit that I said, because nobody's going to give a shit about what I say. They're mostly listening to you, and that's perfectly fine with me.
No, they fear you. That's why they take you off.
Well, let me ask Rob Walton, if you ever come across Penner, whatever the fuck, there is a guy that I've wanted back for a very long time, and please just go get Adam Peters, because that dude knows fucking talent. He knows how to surround quarterbacks. He knows how to surround players he knows how to get players that fit a certain system. And please, that guy has been greatly missed. And Adam Peters, I am such a big fan of yours and what you're doing in San Francisco. Let me tell you something. They have a rookie quarterback in Purdy who isn't getting paid all this money, who's surrounded by great talent, and he's looking like fucking Tom Brady in his prime. I mean, dude, they shut out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers today with that defense and that offense. And the Broncos caught the 49ers at a perfect time.
They caught them at such a good time.
Perfect time. You're right on that. Yeah. And that is because John Lynch, I love John Lynch. I love John Lynch as a player in Denver and Tampa. I like John Lynch. But the reason why John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan are having so much success right now is because the guy that they had to pay to keep there, to not go to New York, to not go to Carolina, to not go to wherever, to give him a pay raise because he is that important to that scouting department.
Yeah.
And I want him as the GM.
Again, we said building dynasties, didn't we? Did we not say building dynasties?
But we're not going to get that anymore. So we're just going to have to resign.
Well, San Francisco's getting it apparently. The Bills are getting it apparently.
Well, those are anomalies, dude. You know those aren't going to last very long.
I'm saying you know, if you keep going with this princess quarterback bullshit, it's going to ruin your team. You can put a quarterback in that's going to be a good quarterback, even a great quarterback, but you have to build the team.
Yeah, you have to build a team around the quarterback because
I mean, ask the Denver Broncos that. They finally put a team around Elway, and then he won a Super Bowl. Oh, wait a minute, he won two.
Won back-to-back Super Bowls.
Yeah, because they did that model. Yeah.
Because Pat Bowlen did. And John Beek. They did it. Alex Gibbs. I mean, dude, the reason that it just blows my mind, dude. You know what? This is why I respect you so much, because we have the same mindset when it comes to Alex Gibbs. He just doesn't get the credit.
That's what I'm saying. This is what go back to what I was saying. You go get the GM. And you know, Adam Peters could work with a Russell Wilson. He could work with a Russell Wilson until that can be moved on. And you can keep building, do what you can. It's going to be tough in the beginning, but you can start purging and you have diamonds in the rough that could get here. You pointed them out.
I point every year.
Yeah.
And
they can come out and start making a difference. And then they're a foundation to get past this Russell Wilson, this mismanagement that we've already had from upstairs. Get past that mismanagement, and you got that foundation laid. Then you can really start to, once you got that foundation laid, I think it would accelerate faster. But again, you have to have the proper management to do that. You absolutely, it's just poison right now at Dove Valley. It's poison. And they've got to purge it. That's the only way you're going to, nobody cares about your shopping centers. Nobody cares about your tech centers or all the Pro Bowl here. I mean, you got to start getting results, You've got to start getting results on the field.
There was a report that came out, what was it, early this week, or I don't know when it was put out. I got to find it again. I'll send it to you. But they're talking about renovating Mile High. Really? Is that the number one thing on your mind right now? Is renovating Mile High?
Yeah.
You get the Waltons way too. I don't see
Bowling.
But you're absolutely.
Team comes first. Bowling. Team comes first.
Yeah, not the stadium. The team comes first. Okay.
Team comes first.
And
But yeah, I don't know if that's also pressure from the NFL too. That's been known to happen as well with these.
Well, I understand that, but dude, it's your team. You bought it. You need to stand up for yourself. But
well, that's it for me. I'm more the football guy. I don't know.
Yeah,
well, I don't know about stadiums.
No. Yes, I understand that, but we talk about getting the right people in here. The Penners and Raul Bolton need to figure out what they want to do. I mean, because time's ticking. Because
Oh, hold on a second. Speaking of stadium, did you catch a sleight of hand? They hardly had anybody up in the upper decks, and they darkened it so you couldn't see it.
Of course they did. Of course they did. I pointed it out. I said, dude, I'm like, God, there's not a lot of fans. And that's because a lot of fans are getting sick and tired of being fed empty promises. And let me tell you this right here, right now. The Lions are 6-7, and they just beat a 10-2 football team in Minnesota. And it was such a great game. I was going back and forth. Dude, you guys gave me shit.
So there are a couple NFL games that are worth it.
Well, dude, the Lions are doing it right, man. I don't give a shit what people have to say about, oh, well, they're 6-7. They're more ahead than the Denver Broncos because they purged that front. They purged it.
And then some.
They got Dan
this is the reality. As you say, the Kool-Aid drinkers, they haven't figured out yet they're the Jets. They're still in some sort of a, like the Raiders, I told you, of the 90s. They all thought they were still the Raiders of the 70s, all their fans. They thought, well, we're going to go to the Super Bowl. Every year is the Super Bowl. And everybody got to the point, like I said, everybody was just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. And that's where we are now. We're a joke, like you said. Every team wants to experiment.
You have teams that experiment and they still win.
You have I said the Jets. You have just where you are right now. You're
a joke.
And the Raiders, I was thinking, what was I saying? That we're going to go to the Super Bowl. Okay, this is what I wanted to say is that when you have a PR machine, the only thing you can add to your team is a PR machine. And you're telling the players all the time, you're Super Bowl. And that's what, like I said, the Raiders of the 90s, they were going to the Super Bowl every year. And it's going on deaf ears. Each loss is just going to take more out of that team, out of that organization. I don't see them getting this thing. Like I said, they're 3-10 as I predicted they would be. Not hard. I don't want to pat myself on the back, but even if this team was, like you said, 6-7, 7-7, whatever, 7-8. 8 and whatever it was, even 9 wins, this team wouldn't, in my opinion, be really much different than they are now. I just don't see this team going anywhere other than if they were lucky enough and things. All the stars, well, of course, in my opinion, all the stars did line up in this year for them, and they still couldn't. It was much as everything was handed to them. It's in bad shape. It's probably worse than muddling in the middle. It's probably much worse than that. I probably am Kool-Aided up a little bit, thinking that they're meddling in them. They're Jets. I mean, they're Jets. Just forget it.
I mean, dude, I tried. They're the Browns. I mean, they're
of old. Yeah, Jets of old, Browns of old.
Yeah.
You've arrived. You've arrived. Congratulations, you have arrived.
Yeah, you hit a new low in the worst Broncos team since the AFL days, and.
Yeah, in the AFL days, if there's people that chimed in.
If you're a Seahawks fan right now, you be fucking tickled pink because you fleeced this fucking team like it was the fucking dude. You know what? This is what I got to say about that. You're absolutely right, man. I hate seeing the Denver Broncos, and that's what gets me so frustrated when players like Justin Simmons get a ticket for, let's just say, being a good PR spokesperson for the team, but doesn't have an impact on the field. They were up 27-0 if they stuck with that game plan and they didn't shoot themselves in the foot, I guarantee you, I believe your assessment, this would have been a 40 burger. I mean, because
54. Would have been 54 points.
40. and it's because just the ease that it was those 2 quarters. It was just bam, 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 bam. Offense, defense, special teams was clicking. I mean, it was
a behind the shed ass whooping.
Yeah, and I thought it was going to happen, and it didn't. But
you thought
I got suckered.
You got suckered into that.
But you know what? It's not going to happen again. And here's the reality of the situation. We are such a dude. It just speaks volumes when you say, and it speaks volumes to me. These teams can shoot themselves in the foot and experiment and have a day off and still win this game. I mean, dude, it just speaks volumes to how they view the Broncos, how easily the Broncos can get punked on the field. And it just shows the culture and the fan base that just goes along with that culture. It's a joke.
Yeah,
it's a joke, man.
Yeah, this is it's disgusting. This whole thing is as a fan, it's disgusting.
Every week it's the same game every week. It's the same post game every week. Watch, rinse, repeat. We'll be doing it next week. Guarantee you, we'll be doing it next week. We're 0-4 in the division, and we're 3-10. It's going to be the same thing.
So is this the end of Russell Wilson this year?
No.
You think they'll wheel him back out? You signed a contract. Get out there. I don't know. Isn't he in like Tua country?
I mean, that hit was pretty brutal. I mean, that guy looked like he was seeing stars out there. And you know what? I got to give Russell Wilson credit on that because he put his body on the line. And I would never – I don't see Justin Simmons doing that. Every time they run right at him, he's just standing there and doesn't give a fuck. I mean, at least I will give Russell Wilson this. He put his body on the line today, and he paid for it, but I can respect that. And Justin Simmons, I just don't respect you as a football player because I think you're a weak individual on the football field, and that's my personal opinion on it.
Yeah, well, we've seen it. We've seen the lamb. Yeah. We've seen that. The let
that
up.
Was bad.
Bad angle. Bad angles.
And what did they do at the end of the game? They threw right at him, and then they ran right at him, and that guy got bulldozed. And then again, on that screen touchdown play to McKinnon? He got pancaked.
Pancaked. That was the plan, by the way. Oh, yeah. By the way, that rugby play, I call it a rugby play because we used to do that as kids. I mean, we used to do that all the time as kids, man. We used to go out there, and that's exactly what we used to do all the time. What's that?
There's Simmons trying to get the ball.
No, listen to this. We used to go out there and play like that all the time. This hitch throw and stuff. I mean, that was just what we used to do. Remember what I said last week when I was talking about Justin Simmons? That he gets that easy interception, that he's pounding the turf. I said all he had to do was just throw it easily over his head, and that would have been a touchdown. And that's exactly what happened. It was exactly the same thing.
Mahomes did.
Mahomes throws that wonky rugby throw, rugby pass, and Simmons left his man. I told you because that's what he did. He left his man and started going after the quarterback, and Mahomes there was nobody. That was Simmons' man. He let him go, and that was a touchdown.
Yeah, top 5 safety.
What I was complaining about last week, but I had some guy tell me he's a coach, and I don't know what I'm talking about. And Simmons just thought exactly the way I was complaining about Justin Simmons last week. This time it came back to bite him in the ass.
If that guy's a coach, man, his players are suffering right now. I'm sorry.
I'd be embarrassed. I mean, I would definitely be embarrassed if I'm claiming to be a coach and player. And
you know what? You brought up a great point on that Juju Smith-Schuster screenplay for the Chiefs. This goes right back to the Chiefs too, where he turns his back on that screenplay instead of keeping his body forward with his forward momentum.
Schuster, the receiver, yes, not Simmons. Schuster,
if I'm that coach, I don't know what
they're thinking. I don't know what's up with that. That's new to me because I mean that just goes against football 101. I don't get that. That's
again, are these coaches?
I'm sorry. I see something like that. I'm thinking like, this is the stuff you got to break people out of at junior high school. When I see that, but on the pro level, it's really it's confusing.
Well, I mean, people aren't into football 101 anymore.
Well, no, it's all about the princess quarterback, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can go to little league, you can go to high school, even college. I mean, my God. I mean, the transfer portal this, transfer portal that. I mean, dude, you see teams like Michigan, they don't have a sexy quarterback and they built the Lions. Nebraska back in the 90s, they built the Lions. Army, yeah, they're not a well-known fucking college team, but I love Jeff
Well, a
Monken.
lot of the teams in the SEC were like that. You know, they built the big offensive line, defensive line.
Arkansas, dude, I guarantee, dude, Arkansas brought in the Georgia offensive line coach, and they made him the head coach. And my God, dude, that's where Frank Ragnow came from, who I wanted.
But you can't have that. You can tap. No. Tap.
How did Creed Humphrey look today?
Good.
Yeah, we can't have that either.
No, you're not allowed.
No.
Tap. Edges, corner. Edges, corner, quarterback.
So here we go again. Next week will be the same post game. Week after that.
I'm sure the Rams do everything they can. Is it the Rams, right? Are we pretty sure about? Well, whoever it is, sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure whoever it is, they'll go out of their way to help the Broncos out.
Yep, because you can't trust. I look at the last remaining opponents on the schedule. I don't trust them. So that's the NFL, folks. Go listen.
Well, they still have a to host the Chargers. That should be interesting.
Yeah. Chargers will probably give that game away because we'll be in Denver.
Or try to anyway. They'll try. We're trying. They tried to last time.
Yeah.
It went up and down the field, and God,
it's a joke, dude. It's a joke, and I'm getting sick and tired of watching the NFL. I enjoyed watching the Army Navy game than this shit.
Yeah,
dude, just saying. I don't watch the NFL is a joke.
Unless it's the Detroit Lions playing the Vikings.
Or the Philadelphia, or Detroit versus Philly. I'll watch that game because those two teams are great at the line of scrimmage. And Eagles, who was the guy that was saying the Eagles are going to have the best offseason? This guy right here. And
you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay, I'm a terrorist.
We got to ban you.
Yeah, I'm just a terrorist, I guess. So.
Yeah. A terrorist who talks about football.
Yep. Yeah. What a joke. Fuck you, Dove Valley.
Yeah.
Dude, you got a young up-and-coming guy, and you got a guy right here who knows his shit, too. Okay?
We know our up-and-coming.
I disagree. But
over the hill and...
No, you're not. Not over the hill. Not over the hill. Dude...
like that Fangio, that guy. I don't have that energy, I don't possess it.
Why, dude? Are you kidding me? I deal with the criminally insane.
They have energy. The criminally they got energy.
They have energy at dropping the soap, but I don't want to deal with that shit. I'm sorry. It's just sad to see what this organization's come to.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. Everything's such a clown show anymore. It's just.
I mean, just look at the world today, man. I mean,
I know.
I did a video on this world and it got banned. Like, dude, I'm such a target, dude. You have no idea. You think football is where, dude? I did a video on this whole.
On what? On YouTube?
What we talked about when it came to spraying.
What platform?
Well, what do you think?
YouTube?
TikTok.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, okay. You did a video on TikTok.
I did a video on the TikTok platform because I wanted to talk about the spraying that goes on.
The Chinese run TikTok?
Yeah, Chinese ran TikTok that got banned. Now I'm done with TikTok. They can go suck it. So
yeah, well, yeah, you can't. Yeah, it's just kitty videos. You just put kitty videos out there.
Oh yeah, dog videos and kitty videos, man. Those will probably get banned too. You have a German Shepherd, it'll get banned.
Yeah, well, that's racist.
Oh, it is? Okay. Yeah, everything's racist now.
Yeah. Well, we got to throw that in there too.
I mean, us hating Justin Simmons is racist, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't hate him, the individual.
No, the player.
I hate the play that I'm seeing on the field is what I hate.
For how many years?
Too many. Too long too many.
God, if Pat Bowlen was in this organization.
Well, alive and well, yeah. The history would be completely rewritten. We wouldn't be where we are now. That's why you have to get banned, because the evil that lurks, at Dove Valley, they don't want to hear anything about, the alternate universe there.
Whatever. If I get banned, if it can help people, that's all I care about. Fuck it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to help anybody because they don't have the mindset I do. They don't.
Well, they definitely don't at Dove Valley. It's a cesspool there. I mean, you can see it. I wouldn't want to. Just look at it this way. You don't work there, thank God. You don't have to put up with that, thank God. That's one of the worst places I'd want to be, is in that toxic cesspool. Wouldn't want anything to do with it. I feel for people that got roped into it and found out what's going on. I feel for them. So that's all I can say.
Again, I work in a toxic cesspool as it is. My God, my mind is just drained right now. Like I could have done better tonight, but the crash is just unbelievable. We were supposed to do this today, and I'm like, you got to give me an hour, dude. You have to give.
I bet you Hackett has aged 10 years in just the.
He looks like he is. He looks like Chad Jensen out there. He looks like Chad Jensen, dude.
I just couldn't stop laughing. You're saying that.
I'm sorry. It's the truth. Because Chad, just do a side-by-side comparison today of him and Chad Jensen. It looked like Chad Jensen was
his clone.
His brother. Yeah. His brother in arms. So
no, what else can you add to this? I don't think it's about it, right?
Watch, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, here we are again.
Here we are again, and we'll be there in about a week's time. We'll be there probably again talking about Broncos this, Broncos that, Broncos.
The Ravens had no business beating the 3-10 Broncos,
and they still beat us with the. Oh, it's bad out there. It's bad. And I'm just saying, whoever lives in Denver and has to deal with that, I feel sorry for you guys. That sucks.
Well, whoever's a fan and has to deal with no matter what. But I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I'm not a part of that front office, that environment. Yeah. I'm just glad I'm not. I'm definitely not in that world.
Dude, I'm just glad I'm not working there and getting paid. God, I would work there if Bolton was there. I'd work there if Adam Peters was there. I worked there if, But
we wouldn't even be having these conversations. They wouldn't even exist.
No, they would actually be like Gardner, or they'll be like, "Hey, Shadow Band, what's your opinion on this guy? Go do some film." I'd be like, all right, let's do
it. Exactly.
Let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. We got an organization to build here. We got an identity to keep. We'll
cut the mac and cheese and park passes at the door.
Yeah, get all that cut out. Yeah, good. We know what we're doing. We don't need PR. We don't need any of that bullshit. So
I just want the Broncos to be good again.
Just let us roll up our sleeves and get this job done.
Yeah, let the real people take over here.
Yeah.
Then take over.
Yeah. It would be a great environment, because it'd be a winning environment, not a fake environment. And that's been Dove Valley for 8 years. Take away the real and sell you the fake. Take away the real and sell you the fake.
And we'd actually hold people accountable.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's it for me.
All right. Take care.
Bye. Yep.
Bye.